Okay, now for some word problems. I had requests for number 21 and 23, so I'm going to do them both in the same one. So number 21 says, a square has sides with lengths of 8x and 3x plus 2. I want to find the perimeter. I would hope that whether you guys are looking at a problem with a square or a rectangle, your first strategy is to draw a picture. Okay, so a square, I've got my square. I know one side is 8x, another side is 3x plus 12. I think I said 2. 3x plus 12. Now, because this is a square, we know all four sides are congruent. This isn't a problem where I can add all these together because I don't have a total, and that's what our goal is, to find the perimeter or the total. I don't know that yet, so I can't just add stuff together. But because it's a square and those two sides are equal, I can write an equation showing that those two sides are equal. So 3x plus 12 equals 8x. So now we solve our equation. We move the 3x's over by subtracting them. So 12 equals 5x, and then divide the 5, so I get x equals 12 fifths. I'm going to leave that as a fraction because I like fractions, and you guys don't. Okay, so if x equals 12 fifths, I'm not done. Remember the question said find the perimeter. So the perimeter is what I get by adding up all the sides. Well, now because I know the sides are whatever they are, and x is 12 fifths, I'm going to choose the 8x side and say that that side is 8 times 12 fifths. In order to multiply fractions, I just go straight across the top. So 8 times 12, which is 96, and then 1 times 5, which is 5. And again, I'm going to leave that. So this is one side length. Okay. To get all four sides, I could find the 3x plus 12 and then add them all together. But because they're all the same, how about we just take one side and multiply it by 4 to get all four total. So 4 over 1, 96 times 4, I think is 384, and then the denominator is 5, and I'm pretty sure that won't reduce, so that is my solution. If you divide it out, 7 times 5 is 35, 34, you should get something like 76.8 as your perimeter. But again, you guys know I would rather see that fraction in there. Okay, so that's number 21. Now I'm going to scroll down so we can see 23. 23 is one of our rate time distance problems. Okay, we have two cars traveling, so I'm going to choose car number 1 and car number 2. Set up my table, rate time distance. Okay, we know the car number 1 started at 9 a.m. Remember, the time isn't what time we started or what time we stopped. It's how many hours we spent in the car. Right now I don't know that, so I'm going to leave that blank. The car traveled at 40 miles per hour. At 10 a.m., another car started traveling at 60 miles an hour. Okay, so I got my rates taken care of. Now, as for time, I don't know how long they're in the car. The question asks at what time will the second car pass the first, so they don't tell me how many hours. So I'm going to say that car number 1 is going for X hours, and car number 2 left 1 hour later. So that means they're in the car 1 hour less. So I'm going to put an X minus 1 for the time that car number 2 is moving. Okay? Distance, remember, we multiply across. So car number 1's rate is 40 and time is X. The distance is 40X. And then for car number 2, I have 60 times X minus 1. Okay? Now we have to decide, for the equation, we have two possibilities. Do we have a total? Do I need to do car number 1 plus car number 2 to get a total distance? Or are these two cars going to be going the same distance or ending up at the same place? It looks like our cars are going in the same direction. And I want to know what time the second car will pass the first, which means they've gone the same distance. So this is an equation where I'm going to put the two distances equal to each other. Okay? So go ahead and distribute your 60. So 40x equals 60x minus 60. And then move all your x's together. I'm choosing to move the 60 x's over, which I really don't like to do normally because I get negative numbers. But if I had chosen to move the 40s over, then I've got a 0 there and an extra step involved. So I have negative 20x equals negative 60, divide by negative 20, and x equals 3. Okay. Now again, go back and read the question. Does saying x equals 3 hours, in this case, because it was time, answer the question? No. The question says, at what time? So if car number 1 is going 3 hours and it left at 9 a.m., 9 a.m. plus 3 hours tells me that 2 cars will pass each other at 12 p.m.